Subscribing to The Observer on YouTube couldn't be easier, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. First, navigate to www.youtube.com/TheObserverNJ. Once you get there, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button, click the down arrow and then all. And that's it. You're subscribed, and now anytime The Observer is live, you will be notified. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 30th day of December in the year 2025. Sure hope you're enjoying your days no matter where it is you are in the country. Here in the Northeast, 31 degrees. It's been very cold. And can you imagine all of the people who will be in Times Square on New Year's Eve? I think the wind chill is supposed to be substantially low on New Year's Eve. So I don't envy anybody who is going to the New York City at all for that on New Year's Eve. But we hope you certainly enjoyed your Christmases, no matter where it is that you celebrated them or whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. I certainly took nothing for granted this Christmas, getting to be with my mother, who was in the hospital for 2 weeks with multiple procedures to her heart and one to her carotid artery. And thank God, knock on wood, she is doing so much better now, home recovering. So thank you all for your prayers for that, too. Parenthetically, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows how grateful I am for that. But hope you all enjoyed your holidays, and now we got another long weekend coming up. It's hard to believe it. And it's kind of hard to believe that we are really at the end of the year already, isn't it? Like, time goes so fast during your older years. So if you're young and you're watching, enjoy it while you can. Let us say hello today to Manny Ventoso Jr., my dear friend who is here with us. Also, Denise Pavlik is here with us as well. Thank you so much, Denise. And I'm always grateful for the support that you give us. And, of course, that goes for Manny, too, for being such great and fond fans and supporters of our newspaper and what we do here all the time. Thank you. Anybody who is in the background, I know there are certainly some of you there. We welcome you as well, and thank you for watching, even though you can't really say anything. We'll also welcome in Deputy Mayor Melanie Ryan, also a dear friend of mine. She's watching us from around the corner as well. Melanie, thank you very much, as always. And this is this was such an interesting year. It really was. We saw things happen that I don't think any of us could have ever predicted would happen in the year 2025. And yet we all somehow managed to get through it all. And before I continue on that, I want to welcome in Mayor Dan Prunty from the Mayor of North Arlington. Mayor, good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. I hope everything is going well, and I hope to get to see you soon, of course. But 2025 was a very bizarre year, and I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad it's over soon. I really am, because of all things going on, and especially the way the month of December ended between two terrible fires, the terrible bow and arrow shooting, everything that happened for me personally. I'm just ready for 2026. But when we get to this point in the year every year, we always take a look back at the year that just passed. And for space considerations, it can't be always that big. So I think it was pretty obvious that two of the big stories happened later on in the year. The first one, of course, is what happened to Pablo Criollo, the man from Harrison who was killed a couple of weeks ago with a bow and arrow attack on Kearny Avenue. That was certainly one of those stories that garnered national attention. In fact, it was in People magazine online just a couple of days ago. So that'll give you an idea of how much traction a story like this gathered. And it is certainly so good to see that the family of Pablo has been able to raise more than $40,000. The last time I checked, it was just about $41,000, but I'm sure it's grown since then. And when this all happened, it was always a reminder of how the communities that we serve here always pull together during times of tragedy. And most certainly that happened at the unfortunate and tragic death of Pablo, and the loss that his family is going through right now must be just unimaginable. How do you celebrate Christmas when the man who was coming home to buy a table to put up all the Christmas presents for the family gets senselessly killed walking home from work? I just don't know how anybody gets through that. And so, of course, it was the top story of the year in 2025. I don't think anything could come close or will ever come close to topping a story like this. And no matter how far away we get from the day, it still doesn't make it any easier without question. I did notice, however, that Pablo's funeral will take place at the Mulligan Funeral Home. I believe it's January 4th. But if you could check mulliganfh.com for all of the details there. But it's good to see that he will be getting a proper burial here in the United States. And I'm certainly glad to hear that Frank Mulligan is in charge of the arrangements. The other big story of the year, of course, was the reelection of Mayor Carol Jean Doyle. Let's face it, it was a trouncing. She absolutely slaughtered Sidney Ferreira in the election in the first week of November, and that led to her first full term as mayor of the town of Kearney. With her, Mary Trine de Castro, Joe Rodriguez, Fred Esteves, and Jerry Facito all won also pretty convincingly as well. So it was a clean sweep for Mayor Carol Jean Doyle as she begins what will be her first full term as the mayor of Kearney. I don't know quite how she does it. Between being on the road, going into Jersey City for work, then going to events, going back to Jersey City, somehow finding a way to go down the shore and then come back and do all these things. I hope I can do a quarter of what she can do when I get to that age, if I'm lucky enough to get there. And we are so grateful for the work that she does and for just being everywhere. I'm not quite sure how she does it. Among some of the other top stories you can see that are here on this week's front page include the opening of this incredible new park in East Newark, which was paid for by the BASF company for the most part. And the other significant story, too, was that Mayor Robert Giangiarusso and his team also won a complete sweep on Election Day in May. David Mateen is the newcomer. You see him. He is on the left of your screen. Then there is Commissioner Richard Jarvis, Commissioner Lou DeMarco, Commissioner Karen Haggerty, and let's see, who am I missing? And Mayor Giangiarusso. So they all swept and did very, very well in their elections as well. And that was one of the bigger stories. Of course, in North Arlington, the Republicans, despite the trend in the state of New Jersey, bucked the trend, as they always find a way to do, in winning seats to the town council. And that was Kirk Del Russo and Amanda DiCicco, the newcomer, who was appointed to the council this year, but now will serve her first full term, which I believe I got wrong and said 4 years. It's 3 years. Mayor Prunty, if you can, correct me if I'm wrong or let us know if that is indeed correct. And then, of course, in this week's edition of The Observer, Jason Bernstein does a great job of breaking down what he thought were the top 10 stories of 2025 in the realm of sports. I don't know how he gets around and does what he does, too, going to all different sporting events and getting to games at all different hours and places around North Jersey. But he does, and we are very, very fortunate to have him here with us for these last 3 years, and very, very grateful for Jason and his presence on our staff. It was also 9 years ago that we lost Mother Mary Tortoretti on December 21st, 2016. It is almost unfathomable to any of us who knew her and loved her that she's been gone for so long, 9 years already. And I know this is always a very, very tough time for Lisa and for Tina. How could it not be? But somehow they managed to trudge through every December and get through it. And it doesn't make it easier, but doesn't make it better, but it certainly does make it easier. It does time. But boy, do we miss Mary. Do we ever miss her? She's been gone for 9 years already. And that was, of course, on December 21st. So we remember her in a very, very special way. And her name will remain in this newspaper in perpetuity because it belongs there. She was such a significant part of what we do. And we miss her very, very much. There are 2 pages of classifieds this week, so if you're looking for a place to rent and have about $100,000 to spare, you could probably find something there. And also, this was, I think we talked about this last week, but 2 Kearney detectives got their golden shields. And this is them with Chief Scott McPhee and a couple of the other higher ranking police officers. That's John Fabula, and there's a couple of others there too in the picture. So check that out as well if you get a chance. That's over on the classified pages. And this is pretty cool, too. These 2 police officers graduated the academy and will soon be taking the streets of East Newark as probationary police officers. And Billy Arizuma and Junior Fiore were very proud to be there with them while they both finished their academy training. And so wraps up 2025. I want to thank everybody who has been here, even if it's just been for a minute. At some point in time, that means something to us because I've said this 1,000 times and I'll continue to say it until the last time I do this. You could be doing anything else right now. You could be, if you're at the office, doing your paperwork. If you are home, you could be doing housework. If you are on the road, some people actually listen while they're in the car and on the road. We can't thank you enough for that. I've always felt I don't deserve it, but I'm so grateful to all of you for that loyalty. And I cannot wish you more. On behalf of Lisa, Tina, Bob, Michelle, and Jason, all the very best in 2026. So for the last time in 2025, it's Kevin Canessa signing off, unless there is, of course, breaking news, which we will join you for. And we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day, and have a happy and healthy new year. Bye-bye.